What's up, sons? It's Blindon with Son of a Tech once again, and today I have another performance test with Destiny 2 on PC. If this is your first time for this type of video, essentially what I do is go through all of the settings in the graphics settings menu of the video game and benchmark them. But what I do differently is I'm benchmarking the settings in the game, not the graphics card versus the game. So in this case, what happens is you guys can come check out the video and skip to the chart if you want to really bad and check it out and see which settings you get the most gain in FPS for. So stick around. Alright, so to start things off, the test bench is essentially just going to be my main rig with a 6800K overclocked to 4.5 gigahertz. Now it does have 32 gigabytes of DDR4 and we have a couple different cards. I tested two cards in particular this time around and then averaged the change in FPS. They are pretty far apart as far as quality of cards or how far they can push the game. The one is a Titan X Pascal. The card 2 is actually a Vega Frontier edition. So on the Titan Pascal we tested at 4K, and then on the Vega card we tested at 1440p. Then we went ahead and analyzed the percent change in FPS and set it there. The settings we took a look at were going to be the character detail distance, the depth of field, the environmental detail distance, foliage detail distance, foliage shadow distance, light shafts, max, not max, scratch that, that's all settings at max, what the FPS was, MSAA, which is multi-sample anti-aliasing, and then screen space ambient occlusion, shadow quality, texture anisotropy, and texture quality. So those are all the settings. Out of all of those settings that we tested for a change in frame rate, there were only 3 that showed any improvement outside of margin of error. I count margin of error in this particular case being 1%. So these 3 settings, as I throw them up, are going to be MSAA. Of course, I saw that coming from a mile away. And then we have depth of field. And then we have screen space ambient occlusion. So out of all 3 of these, the biggest performance gain is going to be MSAA. Told you so. At 78%. At both 4K and 1440p, there's almost no change or visual change that the eye should be able to distinguish, at least my eyes, which are admittedly bad, but I can't tell a difference, and I doubt you would be able to either once you start bumping up the resolution. At 1080p, this becomes a little bit more of a debate. The next is going to be depth of field, which actually was a little surprising to me until I saw the depth of field in action. So that has a 15% change in FPS, but the notable thing here is that the depth of field is quite beautiful in this game, and if you can afford to leave it on because it looks great. And then finally, screen space ambient occlusion was a change of 8.1%. So these are all the changes. Essentially, if you want to calculate these, just say, let's say you're at 100 FPS and you want 178 FPS, then you would turn multi-sample anti-aliasing off. So that's how that works. I hope it helps you all out. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I'll leave the end of the video with some side-by-sides of MSAA on, off. We'll do depth of field on, off. And then we'll do screen space ambient occlusion on and off. So enjoy those. And until next time, I'll see you next Tuesday.
Michael is doing the hero thing.